My name is Jeremy. Welcome back to Actual Faith. Today we're venturing back into the tabernacle to explore a powerful symbol, the veil. And you might remember when Adam and Eve disobeyed God in the garden, they were cast out, totally separated from His presence. And that separation, that feeling of distance, is exactly what the veil in the tabernacle represented. Before we take a deep dive into the veil, let's rewind to the Garden of Eden. After Adam and Eve sinned, God placed cherubim, powerful angelic beings, to guard the entrance. Why? Because the garden was no longer just a beautiful paradise. It was the dwelling place of God's holy presence. Humanity stained by sin couldn't just stroll back in. In fact, the cherubim became a physical reminder of the separation between man and God. Fast forward to the Israelites wandering in the wilderness. God instructed them to build the tabernacle, a portable dwelling place for Him to be present among them. This was incredible news, but there was a catch. The tabernacle had two main sections. As you walked in, you would see the holy place. Here the priests carried out daily duties like offering sacrifices and tending to the lampstand in the table of showbread. This area was accessible, but only to an authorized tribe of Israelites. Then you could step into the holy place. This inner sanctum housed the Ark of the Covenant, a symbol of God's presence on earth, but only the high priest could enter, and only once a year on the Day of Atonement. Now let's talk about the veil. Imagine a massive curtain, intricately woven with blue, purple, and scarlet threads embroidered with cherubim. This thick barrier is what separated the holy place from the most holy place. Some Jewish traditions say that it was as thick as a man's hand. On a physical level, it prevented unauthorized access to God's presence. But the veil also had a deeper meaning. It symbolized the spiritual separation between humanity and a holy God. After all, sin had created a chasm. We were no longer worthy to stand in the presence of God on our own. But here's the good news. The truly transformative story. When Jesus died on the cross, something extraordinary happened. The veil in the Jerusalem temple, a replica of the one in the tabernacle, ripped from top to bottom. Jesus, when He had cried, again with a loud voice, Matthew tells us, He yielded up the ghost, and behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake. This wasn't a random tear. It was a powerful, symbolic act orchestrated by God Himself. Jesus' sacrifice on the cross wasn't just about forgiveness. It was about reconciliation. Through His death, He paid the penalty for our sins, satisfying God's justice. This act of atonement, the ultimate sacrifice, tore down the barrier that separated us from our Creator. The writer of Hebrews encourages Christians that we have a hope as an anchor of the soul, both sure and steadfast, and which entereth into that within the veil. Why? Because Jesus entered the holy place as the great high priest, being the mediator and the sacrifice for you and for me. The foreshadowing of the tabernacle tells us that before Jesus, access to God's presence was limited and regulated. The veil in the tabernacle was a constant reminder of that. But now, thanks to Jesus' sacrifice, we have unprecedented freedom. We can approach God's throne with confidence, knowing He welcomes us. We no longer are separated by a veil of sin. Read with me out of Hebrews chapter 4 if you have a Bible. Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 14. Seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed into the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold fast our profession. For we have not a high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. The torn veil signifies so much more than a ripped curtain. It represents the incredible access we have to God through Jesus Christ. We can enter His presence not based on our own merit, but because of the sacrifice of His Son. What does the torn veil mean to you? How does it impact your relationship with God? I'm interested in hearing your thoughts, so share them below in the comments. And don't forget to like and to subscribe to this channel for more biblical content to build your faith. Also, if you have more questions about Jesus, that's why we exist as a channel. We want to help you to learn more about His claims to divinity and truth. Watch the video linked in the description below, What is Truth? And remember that faith is not a blind leap of ignorance into the unknown. Actual faith is trusting and believing the unknown because of the known. Keep the faith.